Hello, boys and girls. This is the man, the myth, the legend, and I'm here today to talk about the end of an era. It is now the end of the era of the YouTube shooter. And I want to talk about this for a couple of reasons. One, just looking at my own subscription list, guys like Moral and Truth Slayer and ECW Hardcore 07, these guys are putting out videos about stuff that happened 10 years ago. They're reviewing DVDs. Moral hasn't even put out a video in 2 months. And the question is why? And the answer is that there's nothing on wrestling worth watching anymore. And I'm going to flesh this argument out by basically shooting down every major event that's occurred in the last, 6 months. And we'll talk about it. Can anyone tell me where they were when Samoa Joe won the title? I know I can't tell you. And I also know that I haven't watched TNA, something I was actually trying to watch since Joe won the title. Not because I don't want to, and it's not because I don't support TNA or that, I'm anti-TNA or, a Ring of Honor elitist or something to that extent. I just don't feel like watching it. Where were you when CM Punk won the world title on Raw a week ago? I was half asleep. It was nuts to see him, win, sitting on the couch. I did not expect anything like that to happen after Night of Champions, but it happened. And where are all the videos of everyone singing the praises of CM Punk? They're not there. It's like nobody cares. Just like nobody cared when Joe won. Only people actually voiced their concern about not caring when Joe won. But CM Punk wins, it's like, oh well, Cena will win it, SummerSlam, and then that's the end of that. And that's sad. The only major event to happen this year, in 2008, that everyone talked about, that everyone deemed was significant, was Ric Flair's retirement. That was the only thing that everyone kind of stood up and said, this was huge, this was a big deal, and this deserves to be talked about. And I'm not arguing that. It did deserve to be talked about. That was an epic encounter between him and Michaels, and it brought closure to a 30-year-plus career, and it deserved everything and then some that it got, in terms of praise, in terms of notoriety amongst wrestling marks and shooters, and that was just the way it went. So that brings me back to the point that what is there on TV at this point to watch? The draft hit 2 weeks ago. I saw a couple of videos regarding the draft online here, and you know what? Again, people did not seem to think that anything was all that impressive. McMahon's money angle, nobody cared. Giving away all that money, and then the draft hitting, and it did nothing. Did absolutely nothing to spark any interest. And the reason is not for lack of trying on Vince's end or on Dixie's end. The bottom line is that it's just not compelling television anymore. And so we're being driven out of the mainstream and forced into, servitude to become, DVD marks, where all we can do is, in order to, watch what we want to see, which is solid matches in a fast-paced environment, we're relegated to buying DVDs on the internet. And it's typically DVDs of crappy production quality. You know, I mean, nobody has, the lighting and the pyro and the studio mechanics to be able to pull that stuff off other than Vince and maybe Dixie at this point. And I understand that, but I'm bitter. I'm bitter. It's not right